Okay, so we just carrying on from that, we've got the transition from the upper class then to the working class again. So we haven't really had this transition majorly before, only with Izzy and I think it was with Catherine.
She's taking time? Not really. We should have met soon. We should not. She'll be exhausted. She's a woman of 35. How can you speak of your daughter? She's a woman of 35. You're so right, of course. She can travel around the world. She can travel the last few miles. It's so delightful.
There's a lot of contrast, I feel, between Hannah and Leah's lower class, working class, and Catherine and Izzy's. This might be because of like the actual scene and the way it presents itself. The aggression levels do build, but I feel like there should have been more similarities. We should have worked better on like trying to keep it similar. But it still works in terms of separating the different class difference.
She'll be here in a few minutes. I'm talking about spontaneity. She doesn't want fuss. She says that, but it wouldn't be if she didn't know she was being met. And there we just were. Or there I was if you insisted on not coming. She'd like it when it happened. When she got outside, she'd...
And then Lewis comes in. To try and distinguish the Lewises as well, when Marlon plays Lewis, he is in the lower class, where Izzy plays it as the upper class, and I think this was a really good contrast that was shown.
In that condition.
Variation of the same character.
My big sister. I wait to give her a gift.
We'll see you when you're sober. That's alright, Brian.
Charming.
Susie isn't here yet, Lewis.
You probably got her under the table. Dad knows where Susie is, don't you, Dad? Daddy always knows where Susie is. Hello, Auntie Maisie.
I feel like a lot of portrayal that Marlon's done before of Lewis has been the lower class, so it sort of fits in with what he's saying. It was harder probably for Izzy to try and do like that drunk character upper class, maybe make him more like snobby and different in the way that he would present himself. Maybe he would act as if he was less drunk, or maybe he'd be the exception to the class rule because of the age difference as well, showing like a more of a main message between the generation gap as well. This was the double fast in middle class, so it was easier to sort of show in middle class, but obviously different because we had to do it.
We should have met. She'll be exhausted. How can you speak for your daughter? He's so right, of course. He's so right for you always being so right. She'll be here in a few minutes. I'm talking about spontaneity. She says that, but it wouldn't be.
And I feel like the clarity is still like good and sustained here.
She'll never come home from Australia again. What do you mean? Of course she'll come again. And then she goes back, of course she'll come again, but she'll never come back for the first time again.
Even the actions were done fast, and I feel like it worked well in showing like a speed up, this idea of control as well, almost like there's a TV remote that the person here is holding when they press the trigger noise. It sort of shows like the speed up of action, like it was a fast forward and then back to normal speed. Moment of pause.
Well, I hope she just comes in, because I'm getting hungry. You don't have to wait to eat. No, it's a special lunch. Are you going to tell her straight away? That's not something for you to worry about, Maisie. We're all in this together. We've all got perfect alibis. They don't believe alibis anymore. It's all forensic, it's all genetic. But there can't be any forensic if none of us did anything. I don't know why you want to act like such a guilty... I happen to know that a great many people are wrongfully convicted. I don't live in a dream that suggests how...
And we fast forward to the transitioning from one character to another, so I now play an Alice in the upper.
I hope she does come home soon, because I'm getting hungry. You don't have to wait to eat. No, it's her special lunch. I should just go ahead and eat anyway.
Like the whole of... I feel like if we had more time, or if we'd looked and evaluated our performance more deeply, we would have added in more like like little ad libs and moments of interaction, like to distinguish more about like characterization. But obviously because we were looking more about like the way the script was written and the intentions and how to like physically show what the intention of the script were and a physical performance, there wasn't as much attention drawn to that. If it was a professional performance, I feel like there would have been a lot more thought put onto that.
No sense of occasion. She's not going to care if there's lunch. She'll be exhausted. She'll go to bed.
Well, that's okay. That's what she wants to do.
You make yourself a doormat to that girl. You always did.
I feel like that line, in the way that Alice responds to that line in the different social classes, definitely tells you a lot about like the way social class has an impact on women, and especially like her character being that sort of being that representative of women in different social class in this like play, in the way that we decided to take it, sort of shows how she feels she can respond to that statement, in that she does feel like she is a doormat to her, whether she feels like she had to be because society pushed her to be, or whether she isn't.
Break her for lunch. She'll be on a diet.
Now, one diet that is a good diet is the hay diet, because it's not to be combining.
You made yourself a doormat to that girl. You always did. She won't be grateful for lunch. She'll be on a diet. Please, she's coming back. Oh, what is the matter with you now? Don't sleep.
So even that, like the total denial of it, or the fact that Alice doesn't want to hear any of it, is a definite different interaction to like the upper classes.
No.
The use of props as well, I feel is like we use them quite a lot, we use them well, and we noticed when we were using them, but from watching it back, I feel like in our final performance we should have thought more about like specifically using them, or drawing more attention to using them, because it sort of seems like they were just there to add to the characterization, to the social class idea, rather than actually using them for a purpose. They were sort of just like decoration as well, which is not something that Brecht would necessarily do, as we've drawn influence from him.
What's the matter with you now?
You don't seem pleased, you seem cross. She was very quick. She'll be here in no time, I'm sure.
Oh, again, when they run on, I just skipped through that because it's pretty much similar to the way that any of the characters would respond in that situation.
She goes back. Of course she'll come again, but she'll never come back for the first time again.
A lot of things that we changed here were the idea of pouring the glass. In one of the later rehearsals, but a bit earlier than this, my character of Maisie would pour the glass and it would overflow with all the drama happening. But we discussed this and we said that we thought that the upper classes wouldn't really lose control like that, and there wouldn't be that sense of chaos. Even though we liked that sense, it detracted from the whole idea of the upper classes like suppressing their feelings. So we felt like it would be more suited if the next character, if the next Maisie of the lower class were to lose control, and the whole scene to be a bit more chaotic instead of this one. So this one was a lot more about showcasing the contrast before the final one of the working class. Still that characterization of Maisie not being all there, but and using the cuts and stuff, but not making sure it like doesn't overflow. The most important thing about this scene though, I feel, is like the Lewis, when Izzy comes in, she plays Lewis.
There you, it's a special lunch.
I should just go ahead and eat anyway. Doormat to that girl. You always did.
The raising of the voice instead of shouting as well makes it really obvious that Leah is trying to play it upper class but still
She'll
annoyed.
be grateful for lunch. She'll be on a diet.
Please, she's good.
Might be insane without it time.
This should be a lovely day. No bad with you.
It was a lovely day. You spoilt it.
I'm unhappy. And what are you going to do about it?
You have to help yourself, Lewis.
But it never stops.
Lewis, I wish you died at birth. If I'd known you'd grow.
This scene has progressed so much more, and I feel like it has a lot more to say about the interaction between these characters now they're upper class. The whole relationship that Alice is trying to like figure things out. She's trying to keep Brian happy. Brian is never happy, and he's really disappointed in Lewis to the point where that's like the upper class losing it, which he would never usually say something like
You have
that.
to be like this. I would rather kill you or myself the day you was born.
Still that sense
You
of like
see?
shock by everyone else.
This is where I get it from. Is it any wonder?
And then to the final scene,
She said that, but it wouldn't be if she didn't know she
straight away to the
Come
contrast
In the
again.
event she goes back, of course she'll come again. But she'll never come back.
Well, I hope she doesn't come home soon because I'm getting hungry.
You don't have to wait to eat.
No, it's a special.
Make yourself a door back to that girl. You always did. She won't be grateful for lunch. She'll be on a diet.
The tube's very quick. She'll be here in no time, I'm sure.
Are you pleased she's coming home?
What's the matter with you now?
You just don't seem pleased, you seem cross.
You're the thing that makes me cross. Try and sing ago you uttering.
This should be a lovely day. You ruin everything.
Oh, today you spoilt it.
It's kind of like almost juxtaposition like idea of a more choreographed fight scene where obviously like how like almost assassins come in and kill.
All I'm saying is be nice.
Be nice to her.
Yes! I'm just saying be nice to her.
We use like a polo mint to sort of give the effect of like a crack. We did a lot of rehearsal about trying to like get that so that it was fluid. The whole idea was this to be like really overly dramatic and choreographed so that it shows how like even though the characters are dead, us three go back on and we keep playing the scene again and again and again, show how it can continue from the point that we were at. I think that was a definite impression that I got from reading the script. Carol Churchill wrote that she wanted it to be continuous, and that whole idea of continuity, like when it comes to this scene replaying and the amount of variations you can get, especially when we think about our main idea, which was social class, that the social classes will live on throughout history and there will still be that distinct difference between them.
She's taking her time.
And that was it.